Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. In today's episode, my mother owns me. My son shut my mom up. Entitled Stepdad. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My mother owns me. First time posting here, I got a lot of stories about my mother. And this will be the first of many. This story was about a little over a year ago, in 2022. But for backstory, all my life my mother did my hair and got my hair done. I'd barely gotten a say, and I wanted to experiment with dyes at 14. My mother said, "When you're 16 you can do it." I said okay. At 16 years I can she again. When you are 18 you can do it. I said okay. I'm now 19 at this point and I've not let touch my hair for a few months, and she didn't like that. I wanted something else, and my sister does hair and wanted to experiment with my hair. She does so in the past, which didn't damage my hair, and I was looking great. So my sister wanted to do blue faux locks. If you are curious about the difference between faux locks and dreadlocks, dreadlocks is usually a permanent hairstyle since you are using your own hair. Faux lock is also dreads, but it's easier to switch out of it. The process isn't as long as dreads. Basically like temporary dreadlocks. I absolutely love the idea. I had to hold off on it for a while to gain some money for this project. I still needed to get my hair done, but I refused to let my mother touch my hair. My mom would get mad whenever I questioned her choices for my hair. She would yell something like, "You don't even know how to take care of your hair," which was true. I was never taught, and didn't really understand my black hair. Videos helped, but I still didn't understand. So I caved and my mother was braiding my hair. I was on the phone with my sister, and we talk about our plans. My mother would chime in giving her thoughts, which wasn't related to her. I can't remember how it started, but I remember how it ended. "Opie, Mom, it's my hair. I should be able to do whatever I want to it." "Mom, no you can't, you're my child." "Opie, but it's my hair." "Mom, I made you. I own you." "Opie, you own me?" "Mom, you know what I mean." "Opie, I don't think I do." Got pretty quiet after that. I endured whatever conversation was had, and hid the fact I was very uncomfortable. Edit, the comments are lovely, and I didn't expect this. I've grew a lot more backbone since. For those who suggested a buzz cut, I won't lie, I thought about it. But I'm on a journey with my black hair, and I know how to caretake of it now. I now get cornrows and I have a weekly wash day, even got my BF on it, and his hair is actually growing more. Thank you so much for the support and relating to me. Sounds familiar. I 28F wanted to shave off my hair when I was 15. I was sick of the head lice and the fact that aside from me, none of my family would do jack shit about it on a regular basis, so I wanted to keep my hair as short as possible to make it easier to manage until I moved out. I got the clippers and scissors out and started chopping. My mom threw a fit, asking me how short was I cutting it, how I can't cut it off, blah blah blah. I told her, "Look, it's my hair, I should get to do what I want with it." But I needed help buzzing the back off. None of my sisters or my dad would dare touch the clippers for fear of my mom's reaction, so I was left with my mom's help. Her version of helping was to cut the top and sides on the longest setting and just trim the back with the scissors, and insisted that it looked good. But no, I was left with this stupid mullet, even after I begged her to do the back, or just let me have the damn clippers and I'll do it myself. She refused and she hid the clippers after this. I snuck some scissors after the mullet grew out and asked my sister to just cut the stupid shit off. She did, and my mom again threw a fit. I told her I was getting bullied for the stupid hairstyle she gave me because she couldn't let go of the fact that it's my hair and I should get to decide what I want to do with it. Change your hair without her permission and weather it. I did that. Cut off over 12-inch hair and got the Toni Braxton pixie cut, 90s, and my mom lost her absolute shit, lol. I'm now much older with locks, that she also hates, but there's nothing she can do. If you're in the US, your female DNA donor might want to revisit the notes from her civics class, especially the one where they discussed the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. Surprise! She doesn't own you. Not even if she made you. And if you're 19, you aren't even a child anymore, not legally. I hope you and your sister have lots of fun doing things with your hair, and I hope they all turn out great. Yep, I always wanted to dye my hair too. At 16, my amazing hairdresser managed to find a way that I was happy with my red and purple and what my family would allow me to have, and for the next 2 years would gradually increase the color. Then, by the time I was 18, I really branched out. Well, they didn't like it, and would tell me, but boy did it feel good to finally decide how I want my hair. You do whatever you want. I understand now that it's my hair, my rules. I've really been brainwashed by my mother, but I'm better now. Thank you for the support. You should tell her that is the meaning of Juneteenth. She doesn't own you. And there it is. The attitude that far too many mothers, and some fathers, have when their children become adults. At least now you know exactly what you are dealing with. My son shut my mom up. My 15-year-old son asked to go out to see one of his friends yesterday. When he came home, my mom asked him why he never asked her for her permission to go out. He said, "Why should I ask you when I only need to ask mom or dad?" I felt so proud of him, as my mom likes to think that he is her child and I was just the incubator that does everything for him. Good for him and good for you. Why are these granny that's my child stories so common? Oh, it's just nuts. My son is quite quiet and just lets my mom say and do what she wants. But last night, the way she carried on, you can see that he was just done with it all. My parents took my kid for most of THR classic firsts. Even a haircut, that was not needed. Got to the point where we'd just say we were busy when they wanted to take kiddo for the day. I think this is the first post in the sub that hasn't pissed me off. LOL. Good for you, mama, you're doing something right. Love to see kids stand up for their parents. Out of curiosity, is your family living in her house or is she living in yours? I agree with what your son said, and I'm glad he is setting boundaries. I'm just curious if that sense of entitlement comes from a "my house, my rules" mentality or a whole other can of worms. LOL. My house as they emigrated. But my dad is sick, so they came back for his treatment. To be fair, the family, including my siblings, spoiled our mom and let her get away with things for years. Does she live with you? Why on earth would she attempt to assert that kind of control over a 15-year-old grandchild? Why would you ever allow that? Good for him. I'm kind of questioning though. Don't let anyone parent your child but you, the parents. I'm glad he shut her down. What was her reaction to that, by the way? But you two should have shut her down a long time ago, it sounds like. You're right, I should have. But when I tried, she would shut me down. She would even shut my dad down when he would stick up for me. She loves my kids to death and will go above and beyond for them. Hopefully now she will take a step back and just be a loving grandmom like she is with the others. Some of the times that I was the proudest of my children were when they stood up for themselves. On the top of that list was the times they stood up to me. I coached my youngest in softball. I never wanted to be that coach that favors their own kid to the detriment of the team. I did not realize I had overcompensated until my daughter confronted me about it on the drive home from a game one night. That's a good parent. Teaching your kids to be responsible but also critical? Entitled Stepdad. My stepdad had been blocked from texting me after I had gotten a new number. I am going to go to the protective order people and show proof that he violated it. I had blocked him because him and my mother demanded profits if my book made any money. Read me other posts to catch up, it's a lot to explain. Anyways, he told another family member from my mother's side some fake sob story about how I cut him off for no reason, which is definitely not true. That cousin texted me and asked me why I blocked him so she could get my side of the story. And I showed her all the screenshots from the thing he's been doing. I told him he did this before telling a family member a fake sob story, so I'll unblock him. I haven't talked to my mother in about a week. For good reason. Anyways, he told my cousin that I shouldn't have blocked him, that it's not fair. That he should be able to see my child because he provided a roof over my head and clothes. He never got me clothes. My mother never brought me clothes, but that's besides the point. He told my family member to tell me to unblock him. That I owe him for being a difficult child. Tell all the flying monkeys to wait for your book, then they can see why you have a protection order on him. He's deranged. Seriously. It's like he's freaking out because he lost access to your daughter. He really doesn't care that there's a protective order in place. SMH, be careful OP. This man is dangerous and goodness knows your mom won't protect you or your daughter. I'd be afraid he'd hide drugs in my car or something. By the way, you should have a lawyer draw up some type of document saying if anything happens to you, your child is not to go to your mom or him. Good luck OP, get as far away from them as you can. Well, he's never had access to her to begin with. She's never ever met him. I moved out way before I gave birth. Some people should really not have children. Also, how selfish can people be? To their own child, that too. Narcissists don't like it when they feel their grip on power fading. I know it's easy for me to say while being incredibly is hard to, but try to not do or say anything to anyone to give him the idea that he is in your head. Maintain total silence, as bullies really hate not being able to see the results of their actions. Don't even post here if you can avoid it, or do it under an anonymous account, because this forum is another way he could be getting information. Good luck with everything, and I hope you soon be able to get as much physical and emotional distance between you and the horrible people in your life as possible. They are still carrying on about getting proceeds from your story. Wow. They know that you will be telling the truth and that is going to put them in a bad light, and they are still carrying on. Well, they have nerves if nothing else. I would record everything that comes from them directly or through flying monkeys, but I think that you are already doing that. You are out of this situation and this is them in a roundabout way trying to keep hold of you. I'm sorry you're dealing with this situation. I am confused why you haven't gone NC with all these AHs though? Your mom needs to be on the NC list with your step. I remember working at 11 for clothes. You and I could swap stories. I hope your book is wildly successful and was written Miley Flowers style where everyone knows but no one can sue. Start documenting. Now. Timeline, screenshots, etc. It helps the cops understand your situation. Print everything out and start a binder. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.